Okay, we had a good scrimmage today. I think it was a little over 100 plays. It was really base scrimmage. I think we went ones on ones for 54 plays, twos on twos for 57 plays. Did a lot of base stuff, especially in the first half. We just wanted to see who could line up and tackle, who could block, and all that. Second half, we did a little bit more with the pressure on defense as far as that goes. We did let our young quarterbacks go live. Anytime you go live, you can really find out a lot of information, and that was Woody and Malik. And it was good to see those guys out there, and it's also good for a defense, all right, to be able to have to play a live quarterback. I thought that was good. In the middle of the scrimmage, we did 3 live punts and a punt return, which this is the one opportunity that our guys can really show what they can do. Eli Stove was one of our returners, Ryan Davis, and then John Franklin also got a rep back there in punt return. So we really, we got some good information off that. But, overall, I don't think there was any major injuries and all that, and you always worry about that. But overall, I thought it was a solid day. Defense did some good things. Offense did some good things. But it was good for us as coaches, and players. I mean, for the players to kind of see where we're at, because there's nothing like live football. I mean, you can simulate, all you want during practice and thudding up and all that, but when you actually go live, and there was a couple guys too that, anytime you go live, they respond in a different way. So, overall, it was a good scrimmage. Questions?
Instead of not going live, is it just because you've got a better idea?
Yeah, we have a little more information on him. Like I said, the older guys, just those 2 young guys, we really wanted to give them a chance to show what they could do.
What did you see out of them today?
It was good. They both have the running ability, and both of them at times, use their legs. But it was good to see how they react in the pocket, and especially dropping back and feeling pressure, and there's not a quick whistle, like there is when you're in the orange jersey. So it gave Chip some good information on both of them, to start working on specific things the rest of the spring.
What did you see from John Franklin now at wide receiver?
Yeah, John Franklin, I think he had a couple catches, which is always good. We're just trying to get the ball in his hands, and he did some good things, and still learning the position. But he's a veteran guy. The fact that he played quarterback, so he understands the splits and the depth and the timing and the progression and everything that goes with that. And I thought he did some good things. And each practice you see him getting more and more comfortable. He can flat out run.
The defense, get the better of the first team offense today a little bit?
Really, I think it was pretty even. I really do. There were some good things on defense. The defense forced some 3 and outs. Offense moved the football. It was really close today, is what I'd say.
Gus, what'd you see out of Jared Stidham in your first kind of scrimmage opportunity?
Yeah, I thought it was good for him out there in the stadium. He hadn't played football in a year, and so it's different when you get out here. I thought he did some good things. He got some things that, Chip will work on correcting for the rest of the spring. But, even though he wasn't live, when you're out here in your scrimmage football and the coaches aren't there and they're off the sidelines and you just let your guys play, you learn a lot. So it was good for him.
Gus, in your first organized, I'd say, scrimmage with Chip, how did you feel like pace went, and how did you feel like that?
Anytime that you're practicing and you're running 4 plays and then you're going off the field and the other come at 4 play, you can't dictate the pace in a scrimmage or a game. Now we have our pace periods like you've seen before, but there's nothing like the real thing. And I thought after the first series or 2, they started to really get in some tempo, but that's a process, And of course, next Saturday, the tempo should be better. And so there's some teaching moments off today's scrimmage that definitely can help with the tempo moving forward, and that usually happens the first scrimmage too.
Were you putting an emphasis on the passing game or the running game, or was it pretty easy?
Yeah, with that being said, I should have said this earlier, we 60% run, 40% pass. So, usually our first scrimmages in the past have been probably 80-20. So we were a little bit more balanced. We talked about, really for the offense trying to be more balanced. And so that was by design, and so that was the percentages.
How many, when you say just by the top of your head, deep shots down the field, because that was a major
Yeah. There was a handful of deep shots. Try to give our guys some deep shots down the field. The vertical passing game, give our receivers some chances. So I would say anywhere from probably 8 to 10, just thinking off my head. Sean did 7-on-7. He warmed up and all that, and that's all we've really been doing. We don't want to put him in a situation 11-11, somebody hit his arm and all that. But I will say he's progressing well. This past week, he's done. He's rotated with the 7-on-7, and of course, I know Chip's been impressed with him with his retention. Obviously, he played last year, so he's very familiar with things, and even the new concepts he's familiar with. So, he's off to a good start, but he's limited just to 7-on-7 and 1-on-1.
Is it fair to say that Jarrett's got a lot of momentum at this point? I mean, just working with the ones as much as he has?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's they're splitting time in 7-on-7. And then Sean's doing all the drills, but he's getting a lot of reps with the ones.
Looking at the defense today, what did you notice or stand out about?
The first group's flying around. There's no doubt. And the second group, especially on both sides, and that's when you really learn a lot about your guys. We got a lot of veteran guys that have played on defense and played well, and it was pretty much what you would think.
Let's go back to what Joe just asked about the momentum with Jared and Sean. You spoke about how much information you have on both of them. You and Chip both said that you're not planning to name a starter by the end of spring. Has that changed at all? Or
No, it hadn't changed.
Okay.
Don't read anything into that. I mean, it is what it is. Sean White can't go over 11-11, but and I'm gonna say this too: the two young guys, you can see them continually get better. And I know Chip from time to time has rotated those guys with that group too. So but it was good. They got a lot of good information out of the two young guys specifically.
With Malik Willis going live today, was he able to show off his athleticism and escape pressure?
Yeah, he was.
And what did you notice from him in his first live action?
Well, I mean, he's got a skill set, and he can run, and I think more than anything, you already know, him and Woody can run and all that, but just how they react to certain situations when they've got to think through the process of moving the chains and it's 3rd and short. Should I give it? Should I keep it? Should I throw it? Those type things on our option game, and so Chip got some good information off those guys.
How about the situation at tailback? How are you kind of rotating and how are you playing that spot?
Yeah, I believe most of the guys got opportunities to carry the football. I know that Cameron Martin and Malik got a whole lot of reps today, and that was by design too. Both those guys probably got the bulk of the carries, and I thought both of them did a solid job. I don't think either one of them put the ball on the ground, and obviously that's what you think about that first scrimmage. Have a chance to hold on to the football.
What did you say of the wide receiver group today? Anybody kind of catch your eye there?
John Franklin made a couple catches. 33 made a couple solid catches. I mean, it's a group that they're continually get better, and we're going against some really good defensive backs. I mean, when our receivers go against our first group of defensive backs, I mean it's real football, and it's always a good match.
Did you explore any contingencies with the offensive line, or you just want to keep those groups kind of?
I mean, Herb mixed and matched a little bit. I can't tell you exactly. But that was by design too, kind of like we talked about, early in the spring, just trying to give a few new faces in with the first group and see how they react, just to try to get that depth. And so I know there was some of that today.
All right, Coach.
Thank you.